Hey, what's up guys? In this video I'm going to be demonstrating visually what the modulation envelopes are doing. When you first open it up, there might be a little bit of confusion because there's no visual kind of, I guess, representation of what is occurring here. So let's hop to that. We're going to go to the initx blank, which is a blank preset, no macros or anything, and the routing is in its init state. The modulation, or the routing section, allows you to use mod sources as audio sources. And this is pretty cool. It needs a little bit of work, but it's pretty cool. We're just going to drag that in there, and we're going to go to the envelopes here. So I'm going to map envelope 2 into the routing and into mod 1. So now we will hear, or see, sorry, through our oscilloscope, envelope 2. We need to actually change envelope 1. Right, we need to get that attack all the way up and the release to super long so we can actually see what's going on, because it's, envelope 1 is kind of hardwired to the amplifier envelope. Right, so now it's set up correctly. So let's go sustain all the way, decay all the way, like that, and then release super quick. Okay. All right, so we have a basic envelope, which is more like a gate. It's just on or off, essentially, because the attack is all the way to the left, decay is all the way up with the sustain, and the release is all the way to 0. So, right, super simple envelope. So say we wanted to change the kind of ballistics of the rise and then the fall. Well, the rise is dictated by the A, which is the attack. We can change the attack time, going from quiet to loud, right? So there you go. It's slowly rising up from quiet or 0 to, I guess, we'll just say from 0 to 1, right? And you'll notice that the shape is a straight line. So this is a linear shape or attack or curve. They're called shapes here, but I like to call them curves because kind of that's what they are. So as we adjust the shape, we will get a non-linear curve. Right? It won't be a straight line, it'll be a curve, which is what real, I guess, synth equipment does in the analog world. It's a curve. And what that does is that lends to, a smoother transition. It's more pleasing to the ears. It prevents clicking and stuff like that. It's really cool. So let's do that. All right, so now we have a slope. When we go to the left, right, we get this little curve friend. Right, and that is that's a nice little curve there. On the other end of the spectrum, right, so we double click, it goes back to 50%, which is again back to linear. As we go to the right, it will be like an inverted kind of curve, right? And these are super useful, right? And these are for like more kind of, it's for sound design and kind of taking inspiration from analog kind of equipment, which is one of these things, right? This behaves in a similar way. Like nothing is linear in this thing. This is a VCA DSR from Dopefer, right? Basically, that. So that's kind of what we're modeling and drawing inspiration from. Okay, let's get the attack down there. So if you have like a super fast attack, right, you can have that little curve there, right? So you get less. It could be really fast, but if there's a gentle curve, you won't get like a click depending on the phase of the oscillator you're starting up with. It just gives you more flexibility, blah blah blah. But that's what that does. So that's the attack. The decay, or what have you, like I guess the middle part, is directly controlled by the decay here. So this kind of doesn't do anything when you move it. It's directly related to the sustain. The sustain is the amount where it rests, right? Right. So right there we go. We got the sustain there. We can move the sustain, and in theory, yeah, it'll move down, it'll move up, it'll move down, it'll move up. So the sustain is where it rests. The decay is the time it takes from the peak of when the attack, kind of releases, and then when it kind of slopes down, that dictates the slopage, right? Right, so we're getting that. slopage there. Make it faster, right? And that shape is not linear when it's at 50%, right? And that's pretty interesting. I'm just gonna make this super fast and make that linear. Okay, so we're just looking at the decay and sustain here, right? It's super fast, even though it's in 50%. So that's what kind of confused me as I was listening to it. I was like, what the heck's going on here? So yeah, let's explore that. So now we can get it more snappy, or a other direction, right? You could see how it's like, right? It's more curved that way. But yeah, things like that. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, I guess it's like that for a reason. I don't freaking know. So how you further control it is with the hold, right? So the hold is a time, right? When it's actually demonstrated right here. So as the attack goes up, whoosh, right, it'll peak for, the hold is at 0. It'll peak for like no time at all, and it'll kind of go down like that. But as we increase the hold, right, it'll hold the peak value at the edge of the amplifier, peak right there. It'll hold this value, and it'll hold it for an amount of time, and then it'll slowly ramp down or quickly ramp down, whatever you want, right? So there you go, and it's represented here. So let's put that like that. Cool. All right, so the release there's just the release here, right? It's a curved release. And we can hold the sustain, I believe. Right, so I let go, and it holds it. Kind of hard to explain. Right, so when I let go of the note, right, the hold will dictate how long it is held for, and then it will release. So it's just another way to kind of shape the envelope, depending on what you're doing. And yeah, that's an interesting curve. Can I change it with this? Yeah, so it's directly related to the shape here. So you don't have an independent control of the sustain and decay. So these two curves are shared, which maybe I'm missing something, but those you don't have control over those two curves. That's interesting to me. I ain't saying nothing. Okay. So yeah, so we can adjust the shape here and get a super fast release, a smoothie curved release, or a release that holds on and then kind of evens out, like at the skate park. See? Right. So that's pretty interesting to me, and I hope it was interesting to you. I hope that kind of cleared some things up. It's cool, I guess, but there's some stuff. I have some questions, and no one said. Anyway, I'm sure there might be more kind of envelopes in the future, right? I'm hoping anyway, because it's lacking some control. And yeah, the envelope or the velocity here. I'm just using my computer keyboard. The velocity, I can't really demonstrate that. But then there's the overall envelope level, and we can have that kind of so. And we can do all sorts of stuff with that. So yeah, that is the modulation envelope. And what's really cool is a lot of these you can modulate, right? I really appreciate that. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope you learned stuff. Take care and have a good one.